A lot of people are in abuse and they don't even know it. They're allowed it to become a part of their life because the person that they're with has what they call entrained them in psychological language. They've entrained over a short or long period of time. They've conditioned, they've taught, however, with whatever forms of manipulation and coercion that they choose to use, the person that they're with, that the abuse is okay, and that the problem is, if they can't adapt to it, is with you. And it's one of the most powerful forms of abuse, covert abuse, that there is. Now, one of my sports, my favourite sport, is ocean hydrofoiling. And you're dealing with the elements of nature on the surface of the water. The wind, what it does to the surface of the water, and then you use the wind to gain speed, and you go up on the hydrofoil and travel along the top of the water. Now, you can't tell, even though it's always in the back of your mind, terribly haunting. You can't tell what's going on under the water, particularly where I live, because the water's not clear enough for you to be able to do it. And there are some very, as beautiful as it might be on the surface and as scenic as it might be, there's some very dangerous and horrible things that live in estuaries and oceans that you don't want to encounter, but you can't tell where they are, what mood they're in, and or when they're going to attack. And this is something that a lot of us deal with and battle with and try and have strategies to prevent from happening. I'm talking about possibility of shark attack or submerged logs. In the case of boats, submerged containers. A lot of boats hit containers that have fallen off cargo ships. You can't see what's going on under the surface. You can't see it. And it's a danger that can happen at any particular time. Now, this is what happens in relationships. People have ways of hiding the containers and the sharks, the sin, called sin, in their lives that is going to impact the people that they're with. Okay, people have got a wonderful way of connecting with their victims intimately. They'll use sex and intimacy as a way of creating a very strong and powerful bond with somebody. But what you've got to understand is, in the world of love and relationships, is sex, as rewarding or as fulfilling or satisfying as it might be, is also, at the other end of the scale, very destructive and harmful as well. Particularly when you're being used. Now, women are capable of this as well. I've seen it. I've been with several covert, borderline and narcissistic women. And you can waste years with these people before they actually start to give themselves away and become negligent, and without any intention of improving or changing. These people will try and condition you as a means of supply. They don't want to really know you beyond that. They just use you as a means of intimate supply, and if they can keep you at arm's length once they've had their fill, again at different in different ways, there's different ways in which they do this, they will. They absolutely will. So you've bonded to this person, the relationship starts off very close, everybody's meeting and staying together like you're staying together. You're doing all the things that would seem and appear to be building into a relationship, and then all of a sudden, the little balkeries, the things that balk, begin to happen. And at first, you might be alarmed, but not say anything. But as it worsens, as it gets worse, and intensifies in the aggravation and torment that it causes rises in you, it's past the alarm stage. This is the point where it needs to be dealt with. Now, as you try and deal with it, the person that you're with in their sin will deny, will try and outplay, will try and deceive, deny, be irresponsible and unaccountable, so much as to make you think that you're the problem, that you're not being fair, or you're not able to, you haven't got the maturity or the mentality or the character to manage the type of person they are. But people aren't usually, if they've got any brains, if they're not a useful fool, most people aren't conditioned to put up with other people's sin, covert sin, or even overt sin. They're just not going to put up with it. But unfortunately, in this woke, left, run to the rescue, enable the disabled world, the people that get caught up with these people are unable to find a way out. They don't want to find a way out. They think that it's the way that it's supposed to be. I've got to adapt and adjust and stay devoted and loyal and all the rest of it to this sinful person, and it's not true. If somebody starts to abuse you in such a clever way as to nobody else can tell, and you're well aware of it, you know what's going on, but they're able to hide it from people outside the relationship. You're being covertly abused. And you've come, excuse me, viewers, and you've come to the conclusion that this person is unable to change, even if they wanted to. I've seen this. People want to change, they try to, but they can't, because they've allowed themselves to be culturalized into the lifestyle that they've had, and they've learned, right, they've taught themselves, they've convinced themselves that this is how they're supposed to be. But you don't have to put up with it. Detach, go no contact, separate, and never give that person another opportunity to ever abuse you again.